This hardly looks like the preservation of history. But every measurement and cut is Dan Pauly's attempt to hold on to the past.
This is our history within our country.
Through his business Rustic Way, Dan works almost exclusively with reclaimed wood.
This particular board right here is a floor joist out of an old school.
He finds inspiration in the character of each piece.
Most people don't realize what's hidden underneath that board.
An appreciation for carpentry learned along the way.
Well, I'm fourth generation carpenter.
Dan emphasizes the value of custom made in a time of mass production.
I think the industry is getting somewhat generic.
No surprise, his most recognizable work is anything but ordinary.
This is the original building.
Always one to let creativity influence his craft.
Well, I actually took the boards and split the boards.
Dan wanted to defy traditional technique when building a sauna 28 years ago.
As soon as I built it, I figured I must have done something because, I mean, people were taking pictures of it, knocking on my doors and stuff, and wanting to know what it was.
That design would eventually become his signature product.
It's amazing to watch people, what happens to them when they look at it. I think it just takes the playful side out of it.
Over the years, the building not only brought him worldwide attention.
I've never really named it. It's the Rustic Way.
But the demand that goes along with it.
Depending on the interiors, you'll go 8 to 10 buildings in a year.
The unique style isn't just limited to the exterior architecture, he also tailors the interior for each customer.
Garden sheds, playhouses, bathrooms, guest cottages, saunas.
Dan may push the borders of design, yet the mix of character and passion is still framed in woodworking's oldest traditions.
You know, I think it's more about the story, telling people really what the story's all about.
Rachel Slavic, WCCO 4 News.
How you doing?
Every night.
It's a perfect night.
From May Day to Labor Day.
Once they know about it, they'd stop in just for the popcorn only.
Popcorn.
2 small popcorns.
A tiny building at the corner of Prentice Street and 7th Avenue starts popping corn just before 7 o'clock.
You guys want popcorn?
One large popcorn.
You bet.
With butter, please.
With butter.
Those first few pops are like the Pied Piper for popcorn lovers.
It's actually kind of, during the summer months, becomes almost the focal point of nightlife in downtown Granite Falls.
For 98 years, this has been a tradition, not just for Granite Falls, but for western Minnesota and beyond.
I always love asking people, where are you from, and find out, oh, we're from Sioux Falls and we're heading up to our lake and up by Alexandria, but we swing through here just to get popcorn, and it's just, really,
Les Bergquist is the co-organizer, and since his Kiwanis Club took over the stand 15 years ago, he's basically had to get a PhD in popcorn.
It goes back to August 1st, 1919.
That's when brothers Julius and Fred Ernsten decided they could make an annual town celebration better by opening a popcorn stand.
Finally, people in town said, hey, we want popcorn more than just at the celebrations.
A very old and detailed ledger shows how the stand got its start.
And it goes all the way back to August 1st, 1919.
That same year, Granite Falls Congressman Andrew Volstead co-authored legislation to become one of the founding fathers of Prohibition. So it's only fitting that 1919 root beer is also sold here.
It is so enjoyable, no doubt about it. We have a lot of work involved with it.
The stand has changed hands several times over the years.
How you doing?
Now 30 Kiwanis volunteers take turns each night, and all of them know the secret to keeping customers coming back.
Oh, the popcorn's out of this world because it's made with real dairy butter.
A large popcorn with a lot of butter. I'm Norwegian. We need butter.
Yes, I understand, cousin.
Coconut oil is another reason why grandparents who went here as children now bring their grandkids, and people who move away always return.
It's a nice treat
Yeah.
to come back and go to the popcorn stand.
Yeah, it definitely is, and you definitely appreciate it, being in your small town.
During its nearly 100 years, the stand has even played matchmaker a time or two. Jordan Trotter's grandparents met in this very spot 50 years ago.
I wouldn't be here.
You owe a lot to this popcorn.
I do. And the popcorn's good too, so.
Out of 20.
Kiwanis donates all the proceeds to youth activity and reading programs, a total of $21,000 just last year. And it's not just kids that benefit. What little popcorn is left over each night goes to the birds.
We have the fattest sparrows and ducks in the whole state of Minnesota here because we literally dump it out in the street, and ducks and all kinds of birds love it.
It's small town history as told with dairy butter and a touch of salt. A perfect recipe for bringing a community together.
Because it's from Granite Falls and it's like homemade and it's really good.
John Lordson, WCCO 4 News.